What's going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back for the final, for now but probably for good, Bloomburrow pre-release kit opening. This, as I count my dice over here, is my 11th kit that I have opened from Bloomburrow, 7th on camera for all of you lovely individuals, and hopefully you have enjoyed, because if you're unaware, I am the person who has opened more pre-release kits, not from Bloomburrow, but in general, than anybody else here on YouTube, and even though I'm done with this set, I am still not planning on stopping anytime soon. And so hopefully you've been enjoying these openings as much as I have. We got another blue D20 to close it out. Which means I have one black, one green, and then 3 of each other color. Very interesting. Okay. We also have the packs. So we will put those over here. We have the divider to divide your deck and your sideboard, or whatever else you might be putting in these kit boxes. And we have the insert, telling you how to build a pre-release deck. I mentioned it in the last 2 videos, but the pre-release is, in my opinion, the best event for a new player to attend. You don't need to bring anything with you at all. It would be helpful if you had like sleeves and dice and stuff, but you don't need to bring any of that stuff. You could just walk in the door with some money in your pocket and the ability to play some Magic with a basic knowledge of the game. This insert gives you some great information, so feel free to read that, but also, as it reminds at the bottom, and as I have always reminded you, when in doubt, ask for advice. Talk to the people around you, talk to the people at the store. If you're at a good enough store, hopefully they will be able to help you out. If you're not at a good enough store and you can, find yourself a different store, because they are out there. Friendly local game store is not just a tagline. There really are amazing folks out there, and so hopefully you can find the store for you. I have had both experiences. I've had negative experiences at a store that I would rather never return to, and amazing experiences at stores like Champion Card Collector in Poughkeepsie, New York. I'll talk more about that later. But this insert also includes, while there's that awesome art that you were looking at, there is also information about the 2-color combos and what creature types you should be looking at when playing those 2 colors, so that if you do find that you've opened, like, hey, I have a lot of red-green in here, well, this will tell you, hey, you're going to probably want to play raccoons. So if you see green raccoons or red raccoons, they want to go really well in this deck. Could you play a red otter in that deck? Yeah, of course you could. No rule against it, but be aware that raccoons are going to give you the best kind of synergy with the 2 colors that you're playing. Now, this is a code for MTG Arena. If you have missed the other 2 openings that we've done, I will link the last one up at the top right-hand corner there for you. You can go check that out for yourself. It was a hell of a thing. We've opened some really good stuff in these kits. So I encourage you to go check that out. But in that opening, we gave away 5 codes to MTG Arena. Now, this is just one. But in this opening, just like in the first one that we did, we are giving away 6 codes for MTG Arena. It is 1 code per account on Arena, so that means that 17 different people will have hopefully been able to get a code from us in these videos, and I hope you did, and I hope you got good stuff. But if you haven't gotten a chance yet, this is your last shot for Bloomburrow specifically, and we will talk more about how you can go about getting more codes in the future from us. So stay tuned for that in this video. But also, we have our promo foil rare or mythic, which is a class card in Storm Chaser's Talent, a promo foil rare. Now, the class cards look like sagas, right? With the kind of the text box on the right-hand side as opposed to the bottom half, and the vertical artwork on the left-hand side. Cool looking foil, by the way. Very cool. And this card wants to be in the blue-red spells deck. So something to be aware of. Doesn't mean that we're automatically in that deck. I mean, it never means that, but it is something to be aware of as we open the rest of our product. Now, we have 6 codes to give away. This is the first one. As I said, 1 code per account on Arena. That's not our rule. That's Wizards' rule. So just be aware of that. And this is our small way of saying thank you to all of you for watching our stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying everything that we put out on this channel and our other channels. Like I said, I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But please feel free to shout out in the comments down below and say, hey, the first code worked for me, so that your fellow viewers know maybe to check out one of the other codes instead, because there are a lot of them. Next, we have Nocturnal Hunger. And I say next, this is our first non-promo foil. We have a Druid of the Spade, Shore Up, Life Creed Duo, Take Out the Trash, Veteran Guard Mouse, Light Shell Duo. Our first uncommon is the Bramble Guard Captain. Very nice, very, very nice. A Night Fisher is the second. And a Patchwork Banner is the third. This can go in any deck you want. It adds 1 mana of any color. Very, very nice. And it works in any typal deck that you're playing, which in this format, you're almost certainly playing a typal deck, but if you're not, you at least have one type that is kind of more prominent over the others, I imagine. Behind it, we could have an uncommon, a rare, or a mythic. So our next card is another uncommon in the Quake Tusk Boar. Interestingly, this Boar, not a type that is supported in this set, but still a great card. 5 mana, 5/5, Reach, Trample, Haste. If you're in red, or if I'm in red, I would put this in. But our rare or mythic is another blue card and another otter in Valley Floodcaller. Very interesting. Goes really well with the Storm Chaser's talent, obviously. Very nice. Our land behind it is a full art island. And our foil is, Jesus, 2 of the same rare in the same pack, huh? Okay, well, that's dumb. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, birds, frogs, otters, and rats get +1/+1 until end of turn and untap them. And any non-creature spell you have can be cast as though it had flash. And we have 2 of them, and notably, while, I mean, I guess, yeah, they count each other, or they work for each other. You can play both of these at the same time, but you don't really get like, I guess, yeah, whenever you do, each one gives +1/+1 to the team of those particular creature types. This is gross. Gross. In the same pack, and an ad card. Boo, ad cards. Okay. Hey, guess what? There's another code for MTG Arena. If you are unaware, we stream on this channel every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're playing Magic the Gathering Arena. We would love to have you join us, as we have an amazing time every week. So please feel free to do that. We would love to have you, like I said. And if you subscribe and ring that bell, you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out and or whenever we go live on Mondays, so that you don't have to memorize our start time. You can just, get a notification and come join us as soon as you're reminded. We have a Might of the Meek, notably a non-creature spell in red and or blue. A Thornplate Intimidator, a Baker's Bane Duo, another Shore Up, also a blue spell, very nice, or non-creature spell, I should say. Warren Elder, Sazakap's Brew, Heaped Harvest is an interesting one. Overprotect is our first uncommon. Even though it is not in red or blue, it is still a non-creature spell. So if we wanted to go blue-green, for example, this would be a good one to put in. We have an Oak Hollow Village. By the way, that was our first uncommon. This, our second. An Oak Hollow Village. And a Plume Creed Escort. Again, even if we are in the blue-red spells deck, this is a mono-blue card, so it would absolutely be able to get in. Birdfolk is a different deck that is white-blue, but this is a mono-blue card. It absolutely gets in, and it could give something hexproof until end of turn, which could save one of our Valley Floodcallers, for example, from a removal spell. Our next card is a rare in Wick the World Mind. Interesting. And a rat rare. Something to be aware of as well. Behind it, we have another rare or mythic. It's a mythic. Oh, God. In Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. I did mention possibly green-blue. Obviously, this wants to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's got vigilance and reach, and it cares about the number of lands you control. Very, very interesting, but it's also a very powerful mythic, so something to keep an eye out for. Right now, we should almost certainly be playing blue, just based on the first three rares that we opened. But this is a very good card. It's a mythic for a reason. Something to keep an eye out for. Behind it, we have a foil full art mountain that is gorgeous. Also, the winter art, which I believe, from what I have seen, the winter artworks for the seasons, because, by the way, each of the full art lands have 4 different artworks, one for each of the 4 seasons. And from what I've seen, the winter artworks seem to be the rarest of all of them. So to have one, not only in general, but in foil is really nice. Really, really nice. Awesome. And then our regular foil behind it is a blue non-creature spell in Run Away Together. Now, notably, this shows an otter and a frog because this wants to be in the blue-green deck, but it goes really well in blue-red spells as well. And so, like I said, we could still play blue-green and just be leaning towards spells also. Very interesting. We have a bat token as well. Hey, guess what? It's another code for MTG Arena. This is the most codes that we've ever given away, and I have to shout out Champion Card Collector in Poughkeepsie, New York. They sponsor us for many videos that we do. They are not particularly sponsoring us for this one, but we still want to shout them out because the only reason that we have all these codes is actually not even necessarily from the employees of the store. It's from the community there. Because they understand, just like we do, that you can only use one code per account, as I've mentioned. But that means that they are willing to give those extra codes to us, because then we get to give all those codes to all of you. We understand, and they understand, that not everybody is able to get out to a pre-release. Maybe they're not comfortable getting out to a pre-release near them. And so this is the community's way of giving back to all of you as well. So shout outs to Champion. Thank you for all of them who sponsor us for the many videos that we have done. You can check out the channel to see any and all of those. They are absolutely incredible. It's an absolute blast to be at Champion for a pre-release. And hopefully you can come and join us at one soon because we'd love to see you. Come say hi. We have a Ravine Raider as our first card. A Longstalk Brawl, very good fight spell. Finch Formation, very nice, with Offspring capabilities. Crumb and Get It. I love this art so much. It's gorgeous. A Conduct Electricity is a very good spell. Very good spell. Kind of the first, like, at least that I can think of. Maybe I've glossed over it in my mind, but the first like good red non-creature spell that we've seen, but something to be aware of because again, this wants to be in the Otters deck. It literally shows Rawl the Otter, so be aware of that. We have a Moonrise Cleric, a Fountain Port Bell, Calamitous Tide is our first uncommon and is a blue non-creature spell. Very nice. A Bushy Bodyguard is the second, and a Builder's Talent is the third. I know Amy, not a fan of birds, but still loves the little hat on this guy. So shout outs to Amy for that one. Our next card is an uncommon in Vine Reap Mentor. Okay, this obviously wants to be in the Squirrels deck and or like the Squirrel/Food deck, which we are not looking at. And our next rare or mythic, is a Cruel Claws Heist. Notably, double black, so not really even splashable. But this is a very cool card. We used this during the streamer event that we did earlier for Bloomburrow, sponsored by Wizards, so thank you to Wizards for that opportunity. But this card was very good for us. You just get to steal a card from your opponent. Really, really nice. And this alt art is sick. I haven't seen this alt art yet. Obviously, we don't own it yet, and now we do. We have a full art Swamp behind that. Very nice. Sorry, I messed up my piles here. And our foil is a foil. Oh, it's so pretty. A foil uncommon in Stargaze. This particular pack really wanted you to be in black, I feel like. It really wanted you to be in black. Well, too bad, pack. I definitely want to be in blue and or green. So, but this is gorgeous. I love that foil so very much. I had seen other people open that foil, but I don't think we had one yet, at least not that I recall. This is Repel Calamity, is that correct? It is Repel Calamity. The main art, like, from the trailer and stuff. So really, really cool to have that as an art card. Hopefully really cool for you is this code for MTG Arena. Feel free to say this code worked for you, you can shout it out. This would be the fourth code, I believe. Yes, the fourth code. So you can say, hey, the fourth code worked for me. Please don't forget, while you are subbing and ringing the bell here, you can also check the description down below, which will take you to the links to our other 2 channels, Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All, as well as the links to our socials. So we encourage you to check that out as well, and thank you for doing so. We really appreciate it. We have a Glide Dive Duo, a Rust Shield Rampager, Mind Spiral, more blue spells, very nice. Wax Wane Witness, Agate Assault, okay, red non-creature spell. Uncharted Haven. We have not, I usually try not to talk too much about like the other 2 videos that we did, because you know, if you haven't seen them or you don't remember from last week or 2 weeks ago, totally fine. This is the first Uncharted Haven we've opened in all 3 of the kits. Crazy. I feel like, I mean, it's like a common fixing land, and it's the first one we've seen. That's nuts. A Corpse Berry Cultivator could be cast for double green if we're in the green deck and we want to play this one. A Bramble Guard Veteran is our first uncommon. A Rockface Village is the second. This does boost otters, so even if we're in blue-red, we could still play this. And a Moonstone Harbinger is the third, which means our next card is a Mind Whisker Rat Wizard. You can surveil 1, and if you have Threshold, because that's what the rats kind of care about, you can... Yeah, all your creatures your opponents control get -1/-0. This could still go very well in a blue deck. Obviously, its ability to surveil 1 every turn is extremely helpful. You can get rid of lands and stuff. It doesn't have to be in the black-blue rat deck to be good. It could go in a blue-green or a blue-red deck and still be just fine. Next, as our rare or mythic, which is a Paw Patch Recruit. Very cool. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control other than that creature. And if you have 2 of these, if they try to target a different one of your creatures, something gets 2 counters, or 2 counters get spread out. And or if you play 2 of these and they target one of them, the other one still gets its ability to go off. In fact, I guess they both technically do. And you can buff other things up as one of them goes away and then the other one's still there. So this is a very good card. If we're anywhere near green, this gets in for sure. I like this one a lot. Behind it, our land is a Full Art Swamp and the winter one. And our foil, is a foil blue uncommon in Shoreline Looter. Actually, it's really nice in foil. Very, very pretty. If you have Threshold, this thing can't be blocked regardless, but if you have Threshold, then whenever it hits, you draw a card, then discard a card, unless you have Threshold. So, really, really nice. I like that quite a bit. Which means, I mean, look, drawing and discarding, very helpful. Gets you, like, you know, sifts through your deck faster. So again, I think if we're playing blue, this gets in regardless, even though, just like the other card, it's a rat, not an otter, so it's not really for that deck, but it works. It's a great card. Ooh, that art. My God. This is the alt art for Dawn's Truce. And it really just, even the regular art for Dawn's Truce shows Maha, but this art also very good for Maha. Or very good Maha art, I should say. Really, really nice. Hey, guess what? It's another code for MTG Arena. Feel free to shout out and say, hey, the 5th code worked for me if this one does. We'd love to know what cool stuff you all get if and when you use the codes to your benefit and open those packs that Arena gives you. Tell us what cool stuff you opened, especially if it's something that we opened too. That's always fun. And then, as a reminder, I mentioned the links down below to Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All. Please don't forget to sub and ring the bells there as well. It is super helpful, and you can check out whenever we are live on Video Games for All every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Video Games for All. We would love to have you join us there as well. We have a Carrot Cake, Alania's Pathmaker. Okay, yeah, we have not seen a lot of great red. This one's a good one, I won't lie, but right now blue-green is really standing out. We have a Bonebind Orator, Treeguard Duo, Pearl of Wisdom, very good blue spell. Mind Drill Assailant, it is double blue, it can absolutely get in, and it should, it's a good one. And again, more Surveil, so it could help those rats that kind of want to be joining our deck anyway. We have a Saver, which is just a good card, I like this one. Sugarcoat is our first uncommon. It is an enchantment, but notably, even though it's not an instant or a sorcery, that still counts as a non-creature spell, so be aware of that for the blue deck. Almost certainly gets in, great card. A Wandertail Mentor is the second uncommon, and Mud Flat Village is the third, which means our next card is a Splash Lasher. Obviously wants more to be in the blue-green deck with Blink and Bounce, but even if we're in blue-red, this gets in. It's such a good card, and honestly, we're looking at blue-green anyway, so very, very nice. Which means our rare or mythic is a Valley Flame Caller. This one, a Lizard Warlock. So notably, this one benefits being in the black-red deck. If a lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals that much damage +1 instead. We do have some otters, especially in blue. So if we are red-blue, this 100% gets in. Like I said, it's a lizard, so it seems like it wants to be in the red-black deck, but it would absolutely go in red-blue, so if we're in red-blue, this is in our deck. Behind it, a foil Full Art Mountain. It is extremely difficult to tell that that is a foil. Holy crap, that is a very bad foil. Oh, God. I'm sitting here looking at it, and I can't tell you that that's foil from my angle. What do you think? Oh, God, it's so bad. All right, and our regular foil, hopefully it's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a real good foil. That's a real good card. It's the Hearthborn Battler foil rare. Notably, these two cards that we just opened in this pack together are gross. Gross! Because this is a lizard, and so this says that if this would deal damage to a permanent or a player deals that much +1, and this says anytime any player casts their second spell each turn, this card deals 2 damage to target opponent. With that Valley Flamecaller, that is 3 damage to target opponent. But the other thing is, this says whenever any player, that foiling pattern's gorgeous, by the way, whenever any player casts their second spell, so if your opponent casts their second spell, they take 2 damage. And with the Valley Flamecaller, they take 3 damage. If you cast your second spell each turn, so that counts your opponent's turns if you're playing instants or things with flash, and or on your own turn, it's still your opponent that takes 2 or 3 damage. Incredible. I'm super happy. Okay, I guess we can go red-blue. My God. And a treasure token. We have one more code and one more pack to go for MTG Arena. Like I've said before, this is our small way of saying thank you to all of you for watching our stuff. Please feel free, like I said, check those links down below. Likes, shares go a super long way. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out if the 6th code worked for you. Shout that out in the comments down below and let us know any and all thoughts that you have at all about anything that we've opened or are about to open. Down in the comments as well as what kind of a deck you would make. We would love to hear from you. Keep that conversation going, and we will get into this last pack, starting with a Psychic Whirl. Treetop Sentries, Dire Downdraft, very nice. Carrot Cake again. War Squeak, still counts as a non-creature spell, something to be aware of. A Dire Sight, Nettle Guard, Valley Rally is an instant in red. Very nice. Overprotect. Still an instant in green. It's our second one of these in this kit, I think. And it's our first uncommon. A Downwind Ambusher. I actually really like this card. Obviously not for what we're doing in this particular kit, but this is a cool card. And a Jolly Gerbils is our third uncommon, which means our next card is a rare in Festival of Embers. During your turn, you can cast instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard by paying 1 life in addition to their other costs. If a card or a token would be put in your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead, and you can pay 2 to sack this thing. This is incredible. Incredible for the spell stack. Just recast your instants or sorceries. Amazing. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I really want to go blue-red. Really want to go blue-red. Here is a Full Art Mountain, And our foil is a foil common black card in Dire Sight. Not bad. The foiling pattern's fine. No complaints with it. Yeah, actually, yeah, it looks really cool. Behind it is our last card of the video, and it is an art card for the mythic Aluge the Shoreless Sea. Really cool. This is, I believe, the regular art for it. I've seen the alt art for it as well, so if it's the alt art and I'm forgetting, that's totally fine. You can let me know in the comments down below. I mean, I didn't really like... I still think I would go blue-red, but we did open a mythic in this video in Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. So I want you all to be able to close out the video looking at that one. Thank you all so very much for watching. I've done 3 of these. They've been absolutely incredible. Of the individual openings, obviously I've done, I did the video where I opened 4 kits as well at the pre-release itself, so feel free to check that out too if you have not done so already. It is there on the channel for you. I also opened 2 cases of Bloomburrow product. I opened a case of play boosters and a case of collector boosters. So if that is something that you're interested in, that is also available on the channel for you. It may even be linked here at the end. Who knows? But like I said, subscribing, ringing that bell will make sure that you do not miss out on any of our videos. Don't miss out on when we go live here on this channel. We also have Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All linked down in the description box below, and you can sub and ring the bells there as well, especially on Video Games for All, where we will be live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. So please feel free to check that out. Thank you so much for joining us. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon. But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I've been Joe, and as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.